Steam Nextfest is one of the most significant moments of gaming every year. We the people get to go through and try out hundreds of upcoming games. None of this watching trailers and reading reviews bullshit. You get to dive in for yourself, download some demos, and see what games you're going to look forward to for the year. And so I went on a journey. I played through around 100 demos on a mission to find some true bangers coming up. And this is what I came up with. These are my 10 favorite demos that I played. I want to start off with an honorable mention. I know I said I'm only doing 10 titles, but I wanted to shout this game out too, and I make the rules. The fuck are you gonna do about it? It's called Twisted Tower. This game is basically BioShock Light. If you took BioShock and gave it to a team of like 5 guys to recreate, this is what you're gonna end up with, and that is okay with me. It's got a cool setting, giving off this like circus haunted house kind of vibe. Understand though, this is an indie title. You're not gonna get an experience as fleshed out as those classic BioShock titles. This just has significantly less resources behind it. But if you're a fan of those games, there's definitely things to love here. So I do encourage that group to check it out. I had a good time with it. Now let's get to the list. At number 10, I got a game called Skin Deep. I really don't even know what's going on here. You're sneaking around this spaceship trying to rescue some cats that look like Minecraft characters. It's strange. But the biggest selling point here for me, this game feels like an Arcane game. The guys who made Dishonored, Prey, and Deathloop, maybe my favorite studio of all time. They make very unique feeling immersive games, and this is of that same ilk. It's weird and funny and gives you a bunch of creativity to play the game how you want to play. Sneaky pick to potentially be one of my favorites for the year. We'll see how this one goes, but I'm definitely paying attention. Number 9 is called Once Upon a Puppet. I like platformers, I like puzzle games, and I like unique settings. This game takes place on the set of a theater puppet show. So I'm locked in. And you're bouncing around as this Pinocchio-inspired wooden puppet. You're being guided by this magical hand holding your strings throughout these beautiful level designs. I love the vibe here. There was some performance stuff, you know, little stutters in there, which I'm sure they're gonna fix before launch time, but this was just an overall enjoyable, simplistic puzzle platformer with a dope vibe. Very much so in that Little Nightmares, Unravel kind of vein. If you like that kind of stuff, I'm sure this game is for you. At number 8, I got a game called Chernobylite Exclusion Zone. This is a 115 gigabyte demo. I don't know who the fuck these guys think they are. Like, we got demos now that are bigger than actual games, but this is a cool game. I wasn't really sure what was going on for parts of it. I don't know if maybe this is one of those like you gotta play the first one to understand the second type beat, or maybe these guys just weren't doing the best job at setting the tone, but it is a cool game. The world is this post-apocalyptic setting based in what I believe is a futuristic Chernobyl site. I don't know, like I said, it was kind of hard to figure out at some parts, but it has some good stuff going on. I like the atmosphere of this, the survival aspects were there, the RPG elements existed, and I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it. At number 7, we got Soar, Pillars of Tasneem. Now this game comes with some caveats. The demo for this was pretty simplistic. There's these gas bubble things that go away by collecting these purple crystals. You're just going around collecting these things basically. And if that's the entirety of the full version of this game, I can see it getting kind of boring pretty quick. But I want to give them the benefit of the doubt here and say that this was just to introduce the game. And if that's the case, I'm locked in here because the art style is fire. Very vibey sky world setting. But the selling point for me is you can seamlessly transform into a fucking dragon at any moment. You just jump off a cliff, turn into a dragon, and you're soaring through the clouds as this majestic creature in this very soothing and laid back gameplay loop. The girlies and the gays are gonna fuck with this one heavy, and I don't blame them. It was a cool experience. I just hope the full game expands upon this a little more. Number 6 is the Talos Principle Reawakened. It's the original Talos Principle game, just modernized, so there really isn't anything here for me to dislike. One of the best puzzle games ever. One of the best games, period. For those that have never played the game, this is gonna be the perfect introduction. And it's on my short list of games everyone should play before they die of heart disease or something like that. Check this one out. Number 5 is a joint called Deliver at All Costs, and goddamn, this game caught me off guard. I watched the trailer for this and thought like, you know, sure, I'll check it out, but I wasn't expecting much. I am buying this game. There's no thought needed for it. I can't even really describe it in a convincing way. It just felt fun, man. You're driving around town, making deliveries, running people over, leveling whole buildings to the ground. Like, this whole world is fully destructible. You could just drive your car straight through someone's home and keep it pushing like nothing happened. It's goofy, it's fun, I enjoy how it looks, and I really didn't want this demo to end. The best best way to describe it is a modern take on Crazy Taxi, and I love that for them. Number 4 is called Into the Void. Now, I like FPS games, right? I like weird FPS games. You give me a weird FPS with some fluid mechanics, some good movement features, throw in a unique art style, and I'll give it 10 hours of time, no questions asked. These kind of games have been jumping out the gym the past few years with stuff like Ultra Kill, Post Void, Mullet Mad Jack. You just take the classic FPS formula and put your own twist on it, and so many of these types of games are killing it right now. Into the Void has this art style that's almost like a chalkboard drawing. It looks different, and it feels good. The dashing around, the guns felt enjoyable. It's definitely something I'm excited to play through. Just a fun, mindless gameplay loop, and sometimes it's really refreshing to hop off these stressful 100-hour open world RPGs and just click some heads for a couple of hours. And number 3 is Wheel World. This is a game that on paper, I'm not supposed to give a fuck about. You play some blue-haired libtard riding her bicycle around, racing the boys and girls for street cred. If you try to sell me on this by describing it, I'd probably spit in your face, maybe rob you or something, but I've kept an eye on it for a little bit now, and now getting to finally give it a try, it's gonna fuck. Unfortunately, I will be locked in to see where these bicycle journeys take me. This is another one that I see my LGBT homies messing with the long way because it's just calm, it's relaxing, it's unique looking. This is gonna be one of the better indies this year, no doubt in my mind. Now, I love movement-based games, yeah? I like to climb, jump, dash, fly, run. Movement is one of the biggest selling points on a game to me. If I'm allowed to zoom around, I'll donate to the cause, and there was no demo in the Nextfest that allowed for you to do that better than Haste, Broken Worlds, which is why I got it at number 2. It's funny because I randomly came across this on the first day of Nextfest. No one told me about it. I never even heard of it. And then after that day, I've just been bombarded in my comments and messages by people saying, yo, you got to try out Haste. This is your kind of game. And they are so goddamn right, my guy. This game's concept is so simple. Start a level and just run. Get to the end of the map as fast as you can. And this game right here is a perfect example of why I say your games don't need to be overcomplicated, man. Simple ideas done correctly are always gonna find an audience. In my opinion, this game is gonna go stupid, and I'm already a connoisseur of the short form commentary with interesting background gameplay, so don't be surprised if you see Haste in the background of my videos for like a month straight. And at number 1, my favorite demo I played out of 100 demos, it's Afterblast. You know, every once in a while, there's a game that comes around that takes all of your favorite things and puts them together and goes, here, we made this exactly for you. We made this game with nobody else in mind other than your interest, and Afterblast did that for me. You're getting roguelike stuff, you're getting movement shooter stuff. A lot of the features for this game weren't accessible for the demo version, but if they can take what I played and flesh it out even more, this is gonna be one of them ones. There's elements here that for some reason reminded me of like Deep Rock Galactic, mainly just in how the weapons and some of the movement felt. And this is a co-op game. You can run this solo or with a group of friends. You're doing runs through these generated rooms, collecting weapons, fighting bosses. I really hope this game turns out to be a breakout success because I would love to see these devs continue working on this game for years, adding in new content and features. This is a solid ass foundation for my type of vibe, and it was my favorite demo that I played. And that's it. I would say to let me know your favorite demos that you played, but I don't give a shit, man. Give me a kiss.